Okay, this is the Janome Sewist 725S, and I'm just going to show you a few basics to get you started with sewing on this machine. So I'm just going to switch it on the side, and then I think the first thing we'll do is wind a bobbin. So the presser foot lever is on the inside of this machine, so when I first go to the machine I'm going to lift that up. Then my bobbin is in the top here, and this little black thing here, I just push it down and pull it towards me and it pops up the little clear lid. So take that off, don't lose it, it's important. And then take the bobbin off. The bobbin's going to sit up here to be wound, and this thing here comes off because that holds the reel of thread on the machine. So then if I put my reel of thread on and put the holder back on. Oh, it's not usually that difficult, but anyway. And then with my thread and my bobbin, there's only one little thing that the thread goes around to wind the bobbin. So we're just going to pull it across here, and it's this little circular thing that looks like it's a screw on the top. And when you put your thread in, you just have to make sure it's pulled in. What you don't want is just to have it loosely around there and then it won't wind nicely. So we're just going to pull it around and make sure it's pulled in. Then we're going to take our bobbin off, and there's a hole in the top of the bobbin, and I'm going to thread my thread through the hole, if I can see the hole, and then I'm going to pull it up. So then when I pop my bobbin back on and I push my bobbin over, I can hold the thread, and then it's an easier way to wind your bobbin. So then I just need to put my foot on the pedal, and then once I've done it a little way, I'm going to cut that off. Okay, so then I'm just going to wind my bobbin, and I'm going to make sure it goes evenly up and down, and you can see there that it's taut, so you don't want that flapping around. The back one's fine. And then when we've got enough thread on it, I'll only put a little bit on for this demonstration, we're going to take it off and put it into the bobbin case to get sewing. So now I'm just going to push that back towards there. I take that off, cut my thread, and then I can take that out of there. So that's only for the bobbin. So then I'm going to take my bobbin, and when I look at it, it looks like the letter P. So the tail is going down on the left, and then the circle. So I hold this thread off to the right, I drop it into this little bobbin case compartment in here, and then at the front of this there's a tiny groove in the front of the bobbin case, and I just want to pull my thread through the tiny groove, and then I'm pulling it off to the left. So then I've got a tail and it's nicely fitting in there. So I'm going to just leave that for a second, and I'm going to thread the top. So I'm going to take my thread, and this little white thing here, it's got a number 1 on it. My thread goes underneath there, and it goes straight down. You can see a number 2, and I'm going to go up and around. That's number 3. Now I'm going to turn the turning wheel towards me, and that's going to make this little looper come up. And when that's there, I'm going to put my thread over the top, pull it down, and it has to be in that hole. Now, if your machine ever starts to make this horrendous noise when you're sewing, chances are it's popped out of that and it's not working properly. So if ever it's making a really bad crunching sound, what you want to do is check your threading, even re-thread it just to make sure it's in there. So then I'm going to take the thread down. I'm going to go past number 5. Then I've got a hook at the top of my needle, which I'm not sure I can see from here. Yeah, got it. And then I'm ready to go with my needle threader. So now what I want to do is I'm going to pull my needle threader down, and then that, as I sort of push it down and push it a little bit to the back, it puts the needle threader in place. Then I'm going to hold my thread underneath that little hook there. I'm going to hold it under that hook there, and then I hold it not too tight, not too loose. And as I let go, I'm going to let go of my thread. And that has just pulled the thread through the eye of the needle. Now that takes a little bit of getting used to, the needle threader. I'm going to go around and pull that back. And you know, I've done it a million times, so it's not that tricky for me, but when you first do it, it feels a little bit of an awkward thing to do, but once you get the hang of it, you'll continue to use it. So now I'm just going to use my hand, I'm going to turn the wheel on the side, and you always turn this wheel towards you, and as I turn it round, it makes my thread go down, it wraps around the bobbin and picks my bobbin thread up. So now I can put my little lid back on, pop that in. Now both of my threads are above my needle plate, and I'm going to just tuck them in through the foot and towards the back. Now on the side of this machine, there's a little cutting tool attached to the machine right here. You probably can't see it from there. And I'm just going to take my threads and I'm going to just trim them on that cutter. So now they're just not too long. So now we're ready to go.